Are you ready, Roundup?
Okay. Is the mic on? Can you hear me?
No.
Is this counting against our time? Should I keep talking? Okay. Say what? Okay. Roundup for Youth was a huge fundraiser, and it was a big risk considering there were only 4 of us on our team.
I'm Carol.
Hi, and I'm Lee, and here's
Emily!
Here's Emily. Okay, Emily wanted to be here, but she's in school in Adelaide, Australia, so she couldn't be here because the commute was just too long. But as you can see, she is here in picture and she is here in spirit. Okay? We still consider Emily as part of our team because when we were putting this together, she was an integral part of it. We put together the project plan, the timeline, and we were into the initial implementation by the time she learned that she had been accepted into a graduate degree program in Adelaide, Australia. An important component of leadership is inspiring a vision. And our charter was dedicated to youth and education. And our concern was, what if a child never had the opportunity to learn about an innate talent that they had? That would be a dreadful loss, especially if it was because they weren't sponsored or because of budget cuts. And of course, with all the budget cuts that are going on right now, we're losing this very programs where youth learn about these awesome talents that they have. So our vision in Roundup for Youth was that Our vision was that Napa should never lose a great talent because of a lack of funding. Our practicum is called Roundup for Youth. The pilot program ran for the month of March, and it was a very simple concept. You could participate if you were a business or if you were an individual. If you were an individual, when you went to a participating store, you could round up your purchase to the nearest dollar or more, or just make a donation. We like that. Some people did. Thank you very much. And all of the money that was raised, 98% of the money that was raised, goes to youth and education programs. So thank you to the many people who supported us and thought our idea was a great idea. We really got excited about that. Thank you. Now, businesses could participate also. They could have their customers round up, or if they didn't have a retail establishment where they could do that, there's another way. On your invoice or your billing or your statement, you could say, Roundup for Youth, and we actually had some people do that. Again, thank you very much. Some businesses really surprised us, though, because they said that they didn't want to participate. I mean, we were really surprised. We were so excited, and all the individuals that we talked to were going, oh, yeah, let's go for it. But businesses had some concerns, like, I don't want to ask my customers for money. And, oops, I'm losing it. And they were afraid that they would alienate their customers. And they were short on time. And they didn't want any more things happening at the cash register. So these were good, but hard leadership lessons. And for that reason, we want to especially thank the participating businesses who supported the Roundup concept, graciously opened their doors, their hearts, and in many cases, their wallets. is a key component in the success of any fundraiser. And because this was for youth, we wanted to get the youth involved. So we went to Napa High to talk to Chris Walton, raise your hand please, at Vintage High. And she is the instructor of the graphic arts department. And Chris had a great idea. Let's have a poster contest. Well, of course, we liked that idea. And we decided that we would support it and we would give the winning poster a prize. But as you can see, all of the posters are awesome. How do you do that? Well, there were 18 to choose from. So what we did was we had our fellow classmates help us make the selection. Nobody can beat us up now, right? Okay. And the winning poster, we're holding to them here, really got the concept of Roundup for You. A little bit of change can make a really big difference. Chris Donahue, we'd like to... Yeah, I know. I already basically said it.
You already have the money. Yeah.
And we also want to recognize Chris Walden. On a daily basis, Chris encourages the heart of her students to develop their artistic skills. And as a token of our appreciation,
Thank you. That always helps.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Well, I get to do all the fun part. I get to hand out all the checks. You know, one of the best parts of doing a fundraiser is being the person that gets to really participate in rewarding the community and having an opportunity to see what good we can do with the money that we were able to raise. Our great contributors have given us the ability to present over $5,000 in awards tonight. So once again, thank you. We had a huge number of really worthy programs who applied for some of our funds, but we had some really strict criteria because of the vision that we had. We wanted to be sure that the money that we gave was used specifically to touch children's programs in a way that helped develop their future, help them with their education, and help them to learn what skills that they might have. So the programs that we've selected, I think, all embody that capability. So are all of my Roundup people here and ready to come forward? Good. Let me start with Leanne Thompson, and is Jennifer Gray here as well, from A Place of My Own. This is in support of art supplies and books for preschoolers in the community. Thank you. The next recipient we have is Aldea Children and Family Services, and I think we all know Nancy Levenberg, who's going to be coming forward to accept her check. This money is to be used for counseling and services for abused and neglected children who are not eligible for aid from other agencies. Thank you. Next we have Church Women United. Are they here? Ah, wonderful. This is Carol Holmes. Carol, here's your check. Church Women United does a wonderful job of providing shoes and clothing to kids that are non-gang related and non-logo related for children who would otherwise have trouble getting accepted at school for not having appropriate clothing. So thank you. We did. CLSE, the Cultural Language and Ardent Student Enrichment Program, Betty Stradioto. Becky's program is special to my heart because they work for art, drama, and music instruction for children from low-income families who would otherwise be unable to afford that kind of teaching. So being an artist myself, that's very special for me. Next, we have community resources for children. Yvonne Robertson? No? Paula Sotiris? Yes, there we are. Please come forward. They have a marvelous lending library. We have toys and other resources that will be added thanks to the generosity of all of our participants. The next person in line, Cybermill Clubhouse. Rachel Aberin. There you go. We appreciate it. Cybermill we all know because of Lee, but they do wonderful, wonderful training in computer instruction for kids, and they have a program called Youth on the Web that's really excellent, and so this is in support of those programs. Last but not least, Kathy Conover. Ooh, Napa Preschool Program. Thank you. Kathy came to us with a really special program. They are buying equipment that they will use. They're getting digital cameras and photographing, making material that will allow autistic and other mentally handicapped children to use visual aids to begin to communicate with people in their families and in their environment. We think that's a really special program, and we wish you well with that. So for the ones who are recipients, I know it was really short notice tonight, and I thank you for the time that you had to come. I hope that these funds will help encourage the talents of our children for the future. And I will be turning over the microphone now to Lynn Perez. Lynn, it's all up to you.
Can you hear me? It's not working? Oh, okay. Okay, well, we want to thank you all for coming and participating in our practicum and support during our presentation. What we did is we worked really hard to keep this under 20 minutes. We wanted to kind of keep it all together. But there is just one last thing that we want to do, and that is, we want to continue on with Roundup for Youth, into the future. And so what we'll be doing is looking for an organization, we'll work with them, but that can help, kind of take it over from here. So that's going to be the next step, in our practicum. So we're not quite done yet. But we'd also like to turn this book over to Jill as our assignment so that we did do something.
Listen, there's two more things to add.
Okay. That's it.